What did I think about the Chris Kaba case in London? He was a young black man who was unalive by 5-0. They said his car was used as a battling ram. They said he was this. They gave him different names. But the officer, Marty Blake, was on trial for 187. So it did carry serious weight. Now, it was a 3 week trial, but it was only 3 hours for the deliberations. I don't know that you can deliberate in 3 hours and say that you can come up with that. They've had a reputation for being a racist department. Um, I've spent time in the UK, as I obviously come from the States, so I spent time. The difference is that you don't see them with weapons like you do in America, so there's a little bit difference. But there are a lot of similarities. And perhaps one day I'll do a video where I talk about how the USA and the UK, because if you black, especially if you're from the States, you pick up things are different, but then they're the same. The difference is in the States, people be more direct in your face with it, whereas there is more low key how it goes down. Now let's get to this case and what I'm talking about with that. The one things that are similar is this. If you are a black man of a certain age or you wearing certain outfits, it don't matter how old you are. If you're considered to be more, kind of chic, have a vibe, they gonna stereotype you. That means they gotta be on you. They gotta watch on you. That's just the facts. You don't go nowhere being black in the world without being watched. What can I say? What can you say? That's a fact. So when I watched the footage of him, they had it in for him. If they wanted to just, this is where your taser, where's your taser at? Don't you have a taser you got taser in the UK? Or how about shoot the tires? If his car was used as a defense, as a ramble, couldn't you just hit the tires? Couldn't you just deflate the tires? That's what makes it look suspect. People could sit there and say, oh, he was a thug, he was a problem, he was this and that and the other. But you could have done a few other things to prevent certain things from happening, you know. And it's going to be a controversial case because they've had years of buildup. Come to find out, I mean, if you do some of the cases that have happened there between black men and the police, though it doesn't get the same romanticism or the notoriety as the states, it's very similar. It is similar. Being harassed and profiled is no different. It's no different. And I'll say it, I'll throw this caveat. They owe reparations in America as they do in the UK, as they do in Canada and through Europe for black folks. I'm just gonna say it like that because the reality is this. There is that mindset, and I'm gonna tie it all into this, regardless of how anyone feels. Yes, they abolished slavery in 1830 when but they still profited and they still pass it on to the peoples. And so when they walk around talking about class as opposed to calling out the racial agendas, it's institutionalized. All that thing is entangled together because you are mentally programmed to attack first when you see black. And so what happened to this young man was something that if you had a taser or if you go about it in a way to de-escalate the situation, perhaps it doesn't happen like that. But it definitely got my attention, and I understand different countries, different places. People don't always look at these unalive situations, but they are similar. Oh no, I can't help it. I'm I'm sorry. Blackface in a predominantly white area in the world or some situation whatnot, I'm gonna always have question marks. Yes, I am, because the history tells me that there is something suspect, and it seems to be a bias and a favoritism. And if you don't speak out on it, you are contributing to the problem. I'm not going to say that the young man didn't have some situations that weren't up to par and that he wasn't suspect. But at the same time, this goes on a lot. And it has happened there. And there have been uh, black men, women, etc., who have been harassed and profiled for reasons that they shouldn't have. And nobody does a thing. Why? Because that's institutionalized systematic racism 101, which is attached to slavery, which is attached to the history of we can hide behind a privilege because we feel we're entitled to do this until someone sits and protests and stays on it. Now, message to the UK, message to Canada, message to some other European places. Don't let you think that what goes on in America with the George Floyd protests, etc., ain't gonna happen there too, because it's gonna be a flow of folks that's gonna come out and say, "Yo, this ain't happening no more. We're gonna march and let everybody know what is up with this." That's how you bring about change. You got to get them off that old tired throne and all that nonsense about, oh, well, this all, and make them look and say, yo, this is a dawn of a new day. We are not going to get Jim Crowed, because though the words are different and it's still tied together. So, did the Chris Kaba case come to with justice? What does it say? Because it seems to be that there is question marks in his case, and I'm feeling that it didn't quite. It needs to be talked about a lot more, and they don't need to ever let this happen again. Because I'm gonna tell you something: the streets and beyond are watching. London, UK, etc. You know. Just so you know. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. Let's talk.